Hey Sonny here. I'm going to show you how to play the Little Dolls by Ozzy Osbourne and Randy Rhoads. And I'm going to cover all the details of the entire song. Uh, we're going to break down into sections. The first thing is about the tuning. My guitar is tuned to 440 at standard E tuning. On the recording, it's tuned down to E flat, but not quite. It's like a little sharper than E flat. So the way you can tune it, if you want to play along with the record, you have to tune. You have to first calibrate your tuner to 445. So you calibrate up from 440 to 445, and then you tune your guitar down to E flat on all your strings, and then you will be playing along with the recording uh, perfectly. But for now, to play along with my guitar here, this is tuned to 440 and standard E. All right. Um, the second thing is that Randy Rhoads repeat the same main riff over and over, but he plays it different every single time. Um, he plays the main riff right here. He plays that 6 times in each verse. So there are 4 verses. So there are 6 times 4 is 24 times. So basically, he plays this 24 times. In every verse, he plays 6 times of that main riff. But every time he plays the main riff, at the end of the main riff, he plays it differently. It does a little thing. We're going to go through that. All right. So let's cover the main riff first. It goes like this. So what I'm doing there is I play a B power chord. So that's A2, D4, G4. You play that twice. You play a five on the D power. So you go from B power chord to D power chord. Sometimes just play 2 notes. Sometimes I play 3 notes. So it's just up to your preference. But 2 notes sounds better. I think actually I think that's what he does with 2 notes instead of 3 notes. So with just 2 note power chord from B to D. Oh, by the way, this is basically a B minor because you're playing from B minor to D major. So you're playing the relative minor of the key of D. All right, so we're in the key of B minor right now. So okay, I'm sorry. Let's get back to the riff. So we go from B to D power chord, and then you mute and you chunk it. You play the C sharp power chord and the D power chord again, and then open A string, mute, and I put my ring finger on the 7th fret of A string, and then I play the open E string and 7th fret of A string together. So it's like almost octave sounding. Now, I don't have any footage. I couldn't find any footage of Randy Rhoads ever play this live. So he may be... I know some people play the B chord right here. So he plays the B chord in the 7th position here on the low E string. But I believe he starts on this B chord over here on the 2nd fret instead of the B chord on the 7th fret. So that's the part he repeats every single time. But what's after that, he plays differently. All right. So again, he plays that riff 6 times per every verse. At the end of that, he plays differently. So the first time he plays this. So what I'm doing here is, after it lands on the D chord, you gotta pause for about 8 seconds, 1/8 of a beat, and then he plays the 5th fret on the E string, hammer on the 7th fret, 5th fret on the A, 7th fret on the A string, slide to 9, 7th fret on the D, and harmonic on the D string on the 9th fret. So basically, this when it lands on the 9th fret, that replaces the B power chord of the main riff. So instead of going, you end up the second time you play like this. See the difference? So he's just playing the B note. This is the B note of the 9th fret on the D string. So we replace that with, so we play this instead of the B power chord as the beginning of the main riff. So it's very important when you land on the, that's why you pause for the 8th beat, because when you land on the 9th fret on the D string, it's right on the beginning of the main riff. So again, it goes like this. I'm sorry, actually, you gotta pause. And now goes to the second one. All right. The second one is the exact same thing what we just did, but instead of pause for 8th beat, you play right away after you play the main riff. The reason why is that because you're not starting, the second time you play that, you're not starting the 9th fret on the D string as your first note of your main riff. You go back to the main riff right after that. So the 9th, so when you land on the 9th fret on the D string, the second time you play this little thing here is before the main riff comes in. The first time the 9th fret, the harmonic replaces the first power chord of the main riff. The second time you play it is before you play the main riff. So again, play both times together for you. See the difference? So again, both times you play the same frill, but slightly off in timing, so it creates it interesting how you ended up playing the main riff. The third time is the exact same thing, but it ends on the it ends with the 2nd fret of G string and plays the harmonic and bends up and do a vibrato. Okay, so okay, the 4th time he plays exactly like he did the 2nd time. Okay, exactly like the 2nd time. You don't pause for 8th beat and you play the main riff right away. The 5th time, he just plays a D chord. He mutes, kind of wrecks out, and then plays a D power chord. Mutes again. Plays the A power chord, the 5th position. Okay. And then after they place the 9th fret again on the D string, the harmonic, again that replaces the first B power chord of the main riff and plays one more time on the main riff. So and this last time he plays, he ends on the E power chord. And it slides down and it goes to the bridge. Okay, and the bridge goes like this. Okay, what I'm playing is I play the E power chord, open E string, 2nd fret of D, A and D, and I play the open high E string and open B string and back to open high E string again. And I play the power chord, the D power chord. I use my pinky. That way, I use my pinky to play the 7th fret of D string. So that way, instead of playing this like this, I play like this. So that way I can give my hands a little upward movement. And I can play the open strings on the high E and B string. So what I'm saying, I'll play the D power chord, and then you play the open high E, open B string, and you play the A power chord, which you move your hands up, and you do the same thing, the high E and B open string, right? Back to again, so E, B, and E. So, okay, once you finish playing the bridge, you go to the verse 2. Again, every verse you play the main riff 6 times. The first time at the end, he plays this. So he plays the 5 and 7 on the E and 5th fret on the A. I'll do up, down. So down, up, down. Pause a second, and then 7, 9 on the A and 7th fret on the D. And then then you start from the second time on the main riff. But instead of starting from the B power chord, you start from the 9th fret again, harmonic on the D string. So again, it goes like this. See how it goes? Instead of going, you have to go. On the second time, we play the main riff, it ends on like this. Alright, so what I'm playing is I play the 7, 8, 9 on the D string, 7, 8, 9 on the G string, and the 9, 10, 11 on the G string, and then 10 on the B string. And you have to mute those strings. So this is more like alternate picking. So you go down, up, down, so down, up, down on the 7, 8, 9 on the D, and then up, down, up on the G string, and then down, up, down on the 9, 10, 11 on the G, and upward on the 10 on the B string. Alright, now the third time after the main riff, he plays the octave. Now the one thing I want to do is that instead of playing my ring finger on the 7th fret on the A string at the end of the main riff, I use my index fingers instead, because that way my hand would be positioned to play to be ready to play the octave. Okay, in the octave, you just play the 7th fret of D string with your index finger, and 10th fret on the B string with your pinky. And then the index finger, the flash is blocking the G string, so you can't hear it. So when you strike down, all you hear is the octave on the same note, which is the A note on the D7 and B10. Now once you play that, you gotta slide up to 9th fret, both fingers, slide back down to 7th fret, and back to 9th fret again. Goes like this. Now this requires you to put some strength on your finger, because if you start to lose grip on those notes, you can't hear it. So makes you press down hard so you can hear the slide. So that's the third time of verse 2. The fourth time is exactly like the 5th time of verse 1, basically just a D chord. So D chord and A chord. Okay. 5th time is a harmonic on the 9th fret on the G string. Again, you got to position. I use my index finger on the 7th fret on the A string, because I got to position my hand in order to play the G, the 9th fret on the G string with my ring finger. Okay, and after that you play the sixth time on the verse 2 is exactly like the first verse 1. The sixth time you play, which is you play ends on the E chord, you slide down. And back to bridge again. Now the second time you play the bridge, you play it twice. Now, second time you play this, you don't play the A chord. After you play the D chord, you play the second fret of E and fourth fret of E string, low E string. So it goes like this. And it goes to the chorus riff. Okay, the chorus riff goes like this. So you play the open A string down, mute, and you do it again, down, up, mute. And then you play these and you play this A major inversion chord. What I'm playing is I play D11, ring finger, and then bar down my index finger, I play the G10, G9, and then the B10. So now make sure your index finger is barring the 9th fret, because after you play that chord, you lift up ring finger, middle finger, you play the 9th fret of D, G, and B string together with index finger, and then you do that again on the down, down, up on the A string, mute, and then you play and you move your hand, you change position. You play the 9th fret again, D, G, and B. This time with my ring finger, and play the open A string and 7th fret of D, G, and B together with my index finger. So it goes like this. Again. Now next part you got to do on the mute on the A string, go down, up 4 times. And then you play the 4th fret of D and G string with my ring finger and pinky. And then I play the 2nd fret of my after you play the 4th fret on the D and G, you gotta go down, up on the A string again, mute, and then you play the 2nd fret of D, G, and then 4th fret of D and G. So the whole thing together goes like this, slowly. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's the chorus. So that's the chorus riff. Now you play it after the chorus, you go to verse 3. And verse 3, again, you play the main riff 6 times. And here's all the details at the end of each main riff. The first time after when you start verse 3, okay, what I'm doing is I play the G, it's a B minor pentatonic, the B position, the 7th fret position. But I'm playing the 9th fret on the G string, bend up full step, using my ring finger, and I play the 7th fret of B and G. I'm sorry, play the 7th fret of B and high E string together, separately with my index finger. Okay. and then you play the 10th fret on the B string, pull off on 7th fret on the B, and play the 9th fret again on the G, bend up full step. And you go to the second time on the main riff. After the second time you play the main riff, you play the 17th fret on the high E string, you bend it all the way up. You get vibrato, bend a full step. You can use vibrato, you can use a tremolo bar if you like. So that's the second time. Once you get to the third time you play the main riff in verse 3, you'll do this thing right here. So what I'm doing is I play the 7th fret on the D string, hammer on, pull off on 9th fret twice, and then 5th fret on the D string, hammer on and pull off on 7th fret one time, 4th fret on the D string, hammer on and pull off on the 5th fret one time, and that's it. Alright, that's the third time. The fourth time it's like a little funk thing going on. It goes like this. Okay, so what I'm doing is I play the after you play the 7th fret on the E string, on the A string with your index finger. Again, I'm using my index finger this time instead of my ring finger because I need to position my hand to play the next part. So you go down, up, down on the low E string, and you go down, up, down on the E string, and you down again on the E string, mute, and then you'll pick upward on the while your index finger is barring down 7th fret, you'll pick upward on the 10th fret on the B string with your pinky, and 7th fret on the G string with your index finger. So you go. So after you go down on the low E string mute, you gotta go up, down, up on the those two notes, the G string of 7th fret and 10th fret of B. So that's what it is. All right, so that's the third. That's the fourth time. And play slowly again for that. Okay. All right, the fifth time you do the same thing again. I'll just do harmonic. After that, you play the 5th fret on the D string harmonic. It's the same thing as the 7th fret. You're gonna play that. So you do a 5th fret harmonic on the D string, 7th fret on the G string, and the 7th fret of B and B string, and 7th fret of E string. So that's the 5th time. The 6th time is exactly like how we end verse 1 and verse 2. You play the E power chord at the end, you slide down.